Westlands Fishery in Yorkshire. Doing a quick day. It's about 8 o'clock now. I'm finally sorting my last rod out. You can see I'm doing a solid bag. I've got another 2 rods out. I've got one on the chod that I'm going to keep flicking around, and I've got one. And I've got one on a blowback with a marathon boilie and a marathon pop-up. I'll pass you over to Danny while I finish off this.
So yeah, as James said, we're down at Westlands. We decided to come here because we've been fishing a lot of the harder venues recently, and we've got a few things we want to try out, new rigs, new lead systems, new baits. So we thought we'd come here, try and nick a good few fish each. Rods have been in. Well, I'm only fishing 2 rods. I'm fishing to the margin down my side, and rods have been in about 15 minutes and a couple of liners. James just getting his third rod out. So we're confident we'll have a few each. And obviously we'll show you what we're doing, rigs, baits, new piece of tackle that we both got. So show you the way. Oh, another line. See you in a bit. Right, so you've just seen James cast out into the greers. You might have thought, what's he doing? Casting into some greers, it's a death wish. But we've seen fish moving the greers about, and you know when you see him just in and nudging them about and you see him knocking. We've seen a few fish in there, so what James has done is very cleverly tied up a real strong PVA bag, small lead, small rig, and he's just cast into the greers, not into the real thick ones, just into the, just about a foot in where they're nice and thin. Got a good drop. He's going to put it in there. I think he'll be fishing locked up, right James?
Yep. Fishing
locked up so the fish can't run into him. And I think we've got a good chance of getting one in there. His middle rod is just out in open water, on a chod, just with a sprinkling of boilies around it. And his right hand rod is also in open water, but I think he's found a nice bar. And he's got a bit of bait around there as well, and on a little PVA stick. So James fishing 3 rods, I'm fishing 2. So we'll keep you posted. Right then guys, another vlog. Just talked through where James is fishing. I'm going to talk you through my spots now. Basically, I've only got 2 rods out, as I've said, and I'm fishing my right hand rod very close down this margin, down to the right hand side of the screen. You can see this bush here. I'm fishing about 12-15 foot past that bush, close to the reeds. I don't know if you can see them. There's like greers behind the back of that bush. I'm fishing close to there. So I'm confident with that one, and I've had quite a few liners on it. And on that rig, I'm just fishing a normal blowback rig with a shocker type lead system, so inline lead, which is running after, well, it's got a little bit of resistance, then it runs down the leader up to a bead. So I'll show you the lead of the shocker rig before. So that's that rod. Then my left hand rod is fished out towards where that cormorant is, not cormorant, sorry, that like coot thing, I don't know what they're called, ones with the red heads. Out towards there, probably just a bit past it, it's just gone down into the water. So we've seen a lot of fish crashing out in front of us. This is why we picked this lake and this swim. Was going to go on a different lake, but so yeah, feeling pretty confident. I have a few liners. So yeah, James is just about to recast his chod because he wasn't happy with it. So I think he'll show you the spot where he's fishing to, and what he's doing with it. So, you ready, James?
Yeah, we're going to put a bit of bait out. I'm literally going to put a scatter in a boilie around the middle area.
You want to explain the reason you're reeling that in, James?
Well, basically, guys, when we first got here, I had this set up, so I thought I'll flip this about while I get set up, and now I'm set up. So I've put a bed of boilers out, as you just saw, a bit of scattering, and I'll trickle more in. And basically I've just got a safe zone leader with a chod on there. I just need to reshape my curve in there, but yeah, so that's my chod rig. And all I'm going to do is flip that back out where I just put them scattering boilers. Don't have to be too accurate with a chod. You don't have to worry about getting tangled, you don't have to worry about the mass of the hook, that's the beauty of them. So as you can see, got a nice curve in that. So I'll put this back out, and then we're in, we're fishing.
What bait you got on there, James?
I've got a tutti frutti, 15 mil I think it is. No, not 15, is it bigger? I think it's 15 mil.
So with the chod you want to be fishing nice and slack line, so James is going to sink his line down now. Then I think he'll put his bobbin on, hanging loosely with a real slack line, because that just makes sure the chod finds its natural position on the bottom and it's not in mid-water. So hopefully...
You might be thinking, why am I fishing like this? Because I've never fished like it before, but as you can see I've got the reed in front of me. And I don't know, well, you can't see the floor, but it's really stony. So I've really struggled to get my fangs kicked in. So it's literally why I'm fishing like this. I don't think you get the best indication, and I don't think it's the best way to fish, but when you've got to do it like that, that's what you've got to do. So see you in a little while, and hopefully we'll have one.
Right then, just going to show you the rig that I'm using and the lead setup that I'm using. Basically, coming down I've just got a flying back lead there onto a length of corded dark matter tubing, probably about, I don't know, 3 feet long, 2.5 feet long. I've just got a bead on there and I'm fishing it helicopter style with a bit of a buffer there onto a 1.5 ounce lead called a flat pair. And the rig I'm using, a combi rig with about, I don't know, 7-8 inches of corduroy Q2 tied with a little Albright knot under that piece of putty to about, I don't know, it's probably about 7-8 mil there of braid onto just a size 8 cord curved shank hook with a piece of shrink tube. Fished blowback style with your ring, then sticky baits, pineapple and embutric wafter, dumbbell wafter, and that'll just sit, my hook will sit flat on the bottom with that just sitting up like that. So I'm going to get that out. Basically all I do is get a bag, and because I've got this piece of putty I can't thread it down, so I'm just going to hook that on. And now sometimes I put a piece of foam there just to make sure it doesn't tangle, but I'm not casting very far, so I'm going to get this out now. Right then, Danny's dad just brought us the stove, and we're in. So we'll carry on videoing it and we'll get you in, get it on the mat and show you. Just level the camera up.
Absolute screaming run.
It's a fish.
This is a fish, innit?
This is a fish. Good sound. Quite golden actually. Yeah, fins look a bit golden. It's a big roach. It's a record roach. I'll tell you what, sorry said don't say that if it was. A £9 roach. Roasted. Dog shit. Yeah. It's not a dog. Oh, there's a dog shit all over here. You've got on it. Disgusting. Elbow there. That is disgusting, that. What's your standard? God's sake. Yeah? Daniel? What's your standing in? Stick the car in.
tag one. I think you saw me playing the fish. Little common, ghosty common, got a bit of ghosty in it I think. Not very big, probably 4 or 5 pound. But bit lively. Had it on the blowback rig on the shocker lead system what I was talking about. Good fight. That was on the Butchberry Lafters. So yeah, nice little fish. Slipping back, have another one.
Right then guys, as you can see, Danny's actually making up a solid bag. Danny's got both of his rods out, and here I've got a nice simple blowback rig with a mesh PVA bag. Now you might be wondering why they're doing that. We're going to show you underwater how they work, what they do, and why they're good to be used. We think they're great to carp fishing. For example, that if you've got loads of bait out there and you've got a nice little swim going, nice little PVA bag like that, just keep trickling the bait in, helps your rig not get entangled. As simple as that. Puts a little bit more bait there and it's right round your hook point. So the bait, bang on the bait, the freebies on your actual hook. So that's a great way to slide. And then a solid bag. There's many useful ways with a solid bag. Like I'm fishing a solid bag today, I'm going into the greers. You'd have no chance of doing that if you fished a normal rig. You'd get snagged up and you'd probably end up losing your rigs. The fish wouldn't take it. So it's a great way of doing that. Another example, lilies. You go crash straight through the lilies, fish on top of them. And also showing fish, like Harry did at Majestic when he caught his PB. He saw us showing fish, had his PVA bag ready, boom, shot on top of it. A couple of minutes later, it roared off. He had the fish. There's Danny's finished product. And there's mine. So I'll stop this video and we'll see him underwater. Cheers.
I've been seeing some fish jumping a bit further, a bit just past my spot. So I'm going to try and go a bit further, just past, and see if I can nick one of them, and hopefully start moving back onto my bait later in the day. So without further ado, get the first rod out, tell you what I'm using. This rod, I've got my helicopter setup with a combi rig and this little bag, fishing a 1.5 foot wafter, and that's going to be, I'm moving that from my left to my right hand rod, so I'll get that out now.
sweet.
Just slacking that off, put my line sink while I get this one out. This is on my left hand rod. I've just got a safe zone lead on there and I'm fishing inline lead, but shocker. Basically, when my fish picks up my rig, got the weight of the lead to pull the hook down, and then the lead runs, hits its bead up here, and nails the fish a bit more. And that, I'm just fishing normal blowback, a little bag, and which very wet it. So I'll get that one out now. That one's going to go a little bit further. Both them lines sink. I'll let you know if we have out. I think James will just talk you through what he's doing. Over to you, James.
Well, I haven't had anything really. I've had a couple of knocks and that's about it. It's been quite warm. I'm gonna, well, it don't really matter about the weather being warm and that, but I'm gonna try a zig. I'm gonna try. I think the fish are in different water columns. I've been seeing them top and stuff, so I think it's time I tried and bagged one really from a different area. Fingers crossed, I'll get this tied up and I'll get a fish. We haven't actually had a marker out on this, but we felt our lead down is quite deep. I reckon it's about, where I'm fishing, about 12 foot. So I'm gonna make this at about, I don't know, 8 foot and go from there and hope for the best really. But yeah, we'll keep you informed and we'll let you know what happens. Cheers. There we go, Danny's second fish, as long as he gets it in. Great stuff. So, knock on my right hand rod on my zig. Yep, mate. Is that you? Yeah, I think so. Can you get it, yeah? Right guys, the battery's about to run out on the camera, but we've got other ones, so hopefully it'll last Hopefully it'll last. Sorry about that, the tripod slipped. Hopefully we'll be able to get it so Danny can land it. We shall see. Another little ghost, did you say?
Yeah, mirror.
Another mirror.
This is the fish you just scared off from up there.
Yeah. I was baiting up that corner to later on see if I could stalk one out. See if I could nick one out that corner, but looks like Donny's just nicked it off me.
Wet them up for Danny. It's on the combi rig. Helicopter wet system.
We're in. We'll get him on the mat and show you.
Just had my second fish. We said on the next fish we'll show you the fish safety and everything. So while I was getting all the new batteries in the camera, we put the fish in the sling. It's a Nash flotation sling, so we've got it just out in the lake. And we've got a cord coming back and it's securely fixed to the bank. So let's get the fish out. After this, you've got to remember the fish will have had time to breathe back, so it will be lively. You've got to make sure when you're taking it out that its fins are not bent backwards or anything. Let it drain off and bring it to your mat. A little ghosty mirror, but it's always worth making the effort with every fish that you catch. Don't matter how big or small. Right, so bucket of water, make sure you keep the fish wet. Now we've got some carp care as well, but we won't need it on this fish. I've checked the mouth and it's all in good condition. So we don't need that. So you want to be as quick as you can. The fish will be a bit lively. So there's carp care. Then you want to be as quick as you can. You don't want to keep it out too long, but don't rush. Hold it up for the camera nicely. Let James take a few pics. Background, and then put him down again slowly, make sure none of his fins are bent back like that. And get him back. Thank you very much, Mr. Cat. When he's ready to go, there we go. Nice one.
It's where Danny caught the fish, just off the edge of that. Bit further on than that tree.
Before I cast back out. But I think you've already seen it.
Great stuff. Right then, I'm tying up another zig. I'm going to take the one off my solid bag and put it on another zig. My right hand rod, I've been getting knocks. There we go. I've been getting knocks. I just think, I think they're getting the confidence, but they're not quite coming up for it enough. So I'm going to make another zig. Make it that quite a lot shorter, to be fair, and hopefully that'll nick a fish. I don't really know what else to do. It's been quite hard compared to what it normally is, hasn't it? Yeah.
The fish have been showing, but they haven't been biting. They're not feeding.
We was expecting a few fish, and
a lot of the bait that we put in this morning's gone. So fish aren't feeding much. On the move, not feeding.
I think this warm weather's come all of a sudden, so I think it's a bit unexpected for them. They've chilled out. Always seems to happen to us. The weather always changes on the day we come. to get one before I go. I'll be upset if I don't, be gutted. So yeah, but I've been getting a few knocks on my combi rig, giving me confidence in that.
I've just had mine on a combi rig with a
helicopter
setup.
Last minute.
James just tied up his zig. He's just making sure the hook sits right in the water, in the edge, before he ties it on. But I just had my fish on just a sticky bait, pineapple and N-butric wafter. They're just yellow dumbbells. A bit bigger than my other ones, I'm not sure why. I don't know if I prefer them to be a bit smaller. But James has just been to shop. While he was up there, I rang him, made an order with him, and he brought me back some Robin Red stick mix, some Robin Red particle. Robin Red's always been one of my favourite baits. I'm going to start including it into my mixes this summer. It's a great carp attractor, I just seem to love it. Usually everywhere I take it does catch. I hadn't had any for a while, so I'm going to incorporate that into a new stick mix and see how it works. But I'm confident in it. So, that last fish, that second fish, oh! Still just pulled up. I think it was maybe a liner. Pretty violent. Yeah, that last fish was on a combi rig on a helicopter setup, what I showed you earlier. And that was just cast tight to some reeds, to a reed bed, which I've been baiting up all day. And I resisted the temptation until about an hour ago. And I stuck a rod on it, so and it went off, so it worked. Couple of fish crashing out. They've moved. When we first got here this morning, they were crashing out over the right hand side of our swim. They seem to have moved over to the left, where James is fishing, so I think hopefully James will pick a few off, especially on his zigs. Wind's picked up by a few miles an hour. Southerly wind, I think. Yeah. Quite a lot of wind. It's pushing in right towards us, so hopefully that'll bring the fish in. James has just set it up his rig. He's shaking his head. What's up?
It's not sitting right, I'm not happy with it.
Why, what's it doing?
It's going back on itself.
Doesn't make a difference, it's high in the water.
I know, but
What? When it's like that, when it's 10 foot above your leg, it doesn't make a difference if it's like that or like that, does it?
no, it doesn't. You're right.
Yeah,
But it's just my presentation.
in a foot fish thing.
Yeah.
You won't clear on the rig later. So as I said, James just come back from shop and he's got a couple of new pieces of tackle. What did we get?
I got some more Fox, solid bags for Majestics, and I got these Avid bag stems, and basically they're for solid bags, so you can shut all these solid bags out. For example, Majestic, if I get one next to the lake, cast it to the other side of the bag, but I don't want my bag on it obviously in case it's wet, and then it might split, so you get them and then you go over onto your leader.
Or rig tubing,
Yeah, rig tubing and Majestic. So, hopefully I'll get a nice fish out of Majestics. cast my zig out of my other rod, tied it up, it's all ready. Tried something new on it. I don't really want to tell you what it is yet, I'll tell you afterwards if it works or it doesn't. I've seen it with the pros before on DVDs and stuff, but I've adapted to myself a little bit. So, yeah, it goes, it doesn't really matter where it goes, I'm not aiming for anything, just keep moving it around. Got lead down there. It's actually quite deep in here. Deeper than I remember, innit you?
Yeah.
So, that should bag me one, fingers crossed. See you in a bit. Right, just had another. It is 25 to 8. Oh. And we was just over looking at the other lakes, there's a lot of fish crashing. And we just heard a screaming delkim and my reel going a bit mental, so we ran back over. It was this little beauty. Only small, but got a nice scale pattern. So, gonna have to recast both rods because it took both of them out. But I think it's picking up. James had a few knocks as well. So, get a few stills of this, slip her back. Right then, James a bit gutted. He's blank today, I've had 3. It's been hard, not many fish been out. If you don't know, if you know anyone that wants to buy some fishing gear, get in touch. Get them catching the runs, what I know. Yeah, it's not gone to plan, but yeah, I'm back on the bank Thursday, so I'll see you then. I ain't got nothing to say. See you Thursday. See you Thursday.